Let's talk about homestead infrastructure. Now, what do I mean by infrastructure? I'm talking about systems, things that you've built, or things that you use, tools that are helpful on a miniature homestead. Now, we live on a quarter of an acre, so it's a pretty small area, and of course, we live in a urban neighborhood. So you have to make use of what you can. So over here, we have compost bins. Now, these compost bins are built by ourselves, and they are made of pallet wood. And these, of course, are just pallet wood that we've picked up off the road. It's all free, and it's very easy to build. Now, if you look at the compost here, this is all leaf mulch. And the leaves, we've actually picked up off the side of the road. You can find all kinds of bags of leaves that people like to throw on the side of the road. And you pick them up, and then we throw them through a mulch grinder. And by grinding it down, we break it down a lot more. That way it'll be easier for it to naturally just decompost. And as you can see here, we have many different bins here, and they all are of different levels of compost. Some are more ground down than others. Now, why do you need this? Why do you want it? Well, you may pot a lot of plants, and maybe you do a lot of seed starting, and if that's the case, then you're going to need soil. Sure, you can buy it at the store, but why not make your own organic compost? And not only that, you can use up what people have in the neighborhood. Now, that said, some people like to throw chemicals on their lawn, and that might not be something you want. Now, we pick up leaves because at very least we know leaves fell down from the trees and people just rake them up. Obviously, it could be a chemical-filled lawn, but we don't like to pick up bags of grass because we know there's going to be a lot of chemicals in that. At least the leaves, we have a better idea that the chemical level on them is quite a lot lower. So that's one system you can implement on a small miniature homestead. It's very useful. As you can see here, we also have big stalks of bamboo. Again, we picked this up off the side of the road. You might find them to be useful for trellises or the like. This is our greenhouse. This is a completely DIY greenhouse. We built it ourselves. And what's remarkable about it is the fact that other than the plastic, just about everything is stuff we've picked up off the side of the road and reused. So the PVC pipes, this door we picked up off the side of the road. The wood, a lot of the wood is, again, some of it's reused pallet wood or just simply wood people were throwing out. The metal pipe up at the top, again, that is also a reused, recycled metal pipe. Wow, the camera's getting foggy. But yeah, it works well, as you can tell. It keeps a lot of the moisture and steam inside there. But this is a very impressive greenhouse, if I do say so myself. Again, a greenhouse is very important during the winter, and yeah, pretty much a completely DIY system other than the plastic. This is a very miniature greenhouse that it's basically just PVC pipe in a square shape, and then we threw a tarp over it. There's some plants under there. Once again, very simple, very useful. Over here we have a trailer. Very useful to pick up mulch. It's getting overgrown, but once again, super important to have. Over here we have a shed. This shed is actually a completely free shed we picked up off the side of the road. I think someone was getting rid of it on Craigslist and we picked it up. We actually have another shed that we picked up for free, but that one is at a different house than this one. But again, there's so many cool things that you can get off Craigslist. So I want to make that clear. Check Craigslist. check your local area and find out what is people getting rid of for free or even paid. And again, there's so many cool things that you can get for free. There's a barrel over there, a compost barrel. Once again, we use it when we can. I prefer that system over there of using pallet wood, but there's so many different things that you can use. This is a worm bin. We don't currently have any worms inside here, but again, we got this at a garage sale for very cheap, and it's very cool. Originally, they were like someone asked for like $40 for it, but we got it for I think 15 or 20. So that was pretty awesome. Again, you can buy these things online, but they're a lot more expensive. So garage sales are a great place to find useful things like this. Back here we have our chicken coop. This was originally an overhang off the back of the garage, and we decided to chicken wire it in and build a door, and now it's a functioning chicken coop, and you guys like it, right? You guys like it. Yep, you do. And again, it's a super useful thing to have. It's not huge, but I mean, again, we can get away with this in an urban neighborhood, and no one really knows we have chickens back here, and that's kind of cool. We have like a little rabbit hutch over there. The quail are in the rabbit hutch. We've got pigeons and chickens inside. We've got like 4 chickens, 1 rooster, and then we've got about like 8 pigeons, I think. Again, very, very useful to have. Is a chicken coop a necessary thing for your homestead? Well, probably. But maybe you don't necessarily need it. Maybe you focus more on the gardening, and if that's the case, awesome. Compost barrel. Water barrel that collects rainwater. I think there might be fish inside, I don't know. Here we've got some ponds. Ponds are very useful for gathering water, and by gathering that water, you can actually use it in your own garden. And there's fish in there, of course, too. And the fish, they fertilize that water. So you can create some delicious water for your plants this way. Here is a DIY aquaponics system. This is the pump, and it sucks out water and brings it to the plants up here. And these are actually coolers that were reused. And the pipes send the water through there, and it just keeps cycling the water over and over again. I don't know if there are fish. We have goldfish in there. And again, super cool system. Now, you don't necessarily need this for your homestead, but it is a very, very cool system to have in place. And it's just an interesting thing for people to look at, really. Essential for all homesteaders, a wheelbarrow. Hey, this is a huge wheelbarrow that we can actually like put plants in and stuff, and we can like move them across the yard. That's very useful. Again, I know this may look like there's a lot of space here, but once again, this is only less than a quarter acre, really. This is a brand new greenhouse. This one is unlike the DIY one that we bought. If you look inside, there are plenty of plants in here. Again, very useful. And seems to work just as well, if not perhaps a little bit better than the DIY one as far as keeping the heat. I don't know if that's going to be truly the case forever. This is another compost bin. This one is right next to our kitchen door, so we can throw things into it instantaneously. So as you can see, there's a lot more newer matter inside. And then it also has this little section where the compost can kind of just breathe a little bit more. That'll help it kind of break down a bit more, a bit easier. But yeah, once again, this is newer stuff. You just throw it in instantaneously. It's very easy to use, right next to our kitchen door, so very useful. So I hope that gave you some ideas on some of the stuff that you can do on like a small miniature urban homestead in a neighborhood. Again, there's a lot more that I could show you actually. We have worm bins and mealworm bins, and the mealworms we feed the chickens and stuff like that. There's a lot of little things that you can do on a small homestead. And I really think you need to kind of broaden your scope as far as what is possible. Again, like a greenhouse, you can make a DIY greenhouse pretty cheap. You can pick up stuff off the side of the road, and check places like Craigslist. Craigslist, you can find a lot of free or paid things, but it might be a little cheaper than buying it at the store. You know, our first greenhouse that we built, our DIY greenhouse, I think we only spent maybe $100 on that one. The new one that we bought, that was closer to 200. But originally, we had tons of material to build that first greenhouse, and we could do it pretty cheap, and that was phenomenal. But that's of course because we picked up a lot of stuff for free. We didn't have as many materials when we wanted a second greenhouse, so we had to buy a full one. But again, there's so many things that you can build. You can build wooden pallet wood compost bins. These are very useful and very easy to build, and you can find pallet wood just about anywhere. So yeah, I mean, broaden your horizons, your scopes on what you can build, what you can create for yourself, and you can create all kinds of systems and infrastructure for yourself. And these things can make your life a little easier. So yeah, that's pretty much what I just want to let you know. Build stuff, find things, and create systems to make your life a little bit easier. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I want to say. See ya.